world! Do you feel like your hours are moving slower and slower every day because of the quarantine?
Well, why not kill a few hours by making some kimchi?
But first, let's open a bottle of wine because wine makes everything better.
Cheers!
So I love making kimchi because, well, I'm Korean. And if I say I don't love kimchi, then probably some secret police from Korea is gonna come beat me up, so yeah. Kimchi is like super versatile because you can eat it as a side dish, but also as an ingredient for other dishes like kimchi soup, pancakes, pasta, pizza, fried rice. We like versatility in the time of quarantine so you don't get bored with the same meal every single day. Today I'll be making matgimchi or sungimchi, and it means chopped kimchi. And this is probably the easiest spicy kind of kimchi recipe that I know. So it's great for beginners. And no, you cannot slap someone with this type of kimchi like in that K-drama.
뭐냐?
Because for that you need pogi kimchi, which means like whole kimchi. You keep the leaves intact instead of like chopping them up. Anyways, no slapping for you today. And today I'm gonna try to do some very in-depth explanation of my kimchi making process so I can share my ancient Korean secrets. So this could be a long video. Grab a glass of wine. If you're not interested in learning something new today, then why are you watching a YouTube video right now? Go practice piano. Let's talk about the ingredients. I'm using one napa cabbage, aka Chinese cabbage. Try to pick one that's heavy, full, and has the least amount of green leaves because you don't use green leaves for kimchi making. If your local produce store doesn't carry napa cabbage, well then you're screwed. I guess you could try it with regular cabbage, but that's gonna make like, I don't know, white people kimchi. I'm also gonna use this cute little radish because it looks like a minion, and this minion is gonna make my kimchi taste better. Coarse sea salt. You need the coarse kind and not the table salt kind because if you use the table salt, it's gonna make your kimchi bitter. You want your kimchi to be spicy, salty, and a bit sour, but not bitter. Use coarse sea salt. Glutinous rice powder. We're gonna make some sort of glue with this rice powder and water, and that glue will help with the fermentation process. If you don't have this, you can also use regular flour mixed with water, cooked rice mixed with water and blended to a gluey texture, or boiled potato also in water, blended up so it turns into a gluey thing. But you need the glue. One Asian pear. Pears have this natural sweet, crunchy flavor that's gonna add like a depth of sweetness to the kimchi. You can also use apples, normal pear. I've also tried pineapples and kiwi, and they kind of work too. Most crunchy and juicy fruits should work. But don't use oranges, clementines, mandarin, grapefruits. Their sourness won't help with the fermentation at all. Korean chili pepper powder. This is a must. You also need to use the coarse kind and not the super fine powdery kind. The super fine kind makes the flavor of the kimchi less fresh and also makes the whole texture of the kimchi a bit more gooey, and you don't want that. I don't know why, but it does, so don't. Fresh red chili pepper. You don't have to use these, but they do make the color of the kimchi more vibrant red and also adds a different note of spiciness. Do not use super spicy peppers like harissa, habanero, bird eye chilies, because the point is not to make the kimchi more spicy. You can also substitute with red bell pepper like this, and I'll be doing that today because my husband is French and spicy is very difficult for them. And here comes my secret ingredient. 7-Up, or Sprite, or lemonade, or whatever. You might be thinking, what? In Asian food? I say yes. But why? Well, it has a tiny bit of lemon flavor, which is pretty cute. And they also have a lot of sugar, so I won't be using any sugar for my recipe. And also, it has sparkling gas, which I think helps with the fermentation a little bit because it's like carbon dioxide. You don't have to use this, but if you do, you'll thank me for it. And some of the must-have ingredients include fish sauce, garlic, ginger, and onion. And you can kind of live without the spring onions and the shrimp paste. Making kimchi can be split into 3 big steps. First, you need to salt and season the napa cabbage. Second, you make a chili pepper marinade with most of these ingredients. Third, you mix it all up and ferment it. Now let's get to cooking. Let's split the cabbage into 4 big sections. And then chop each section into little bite sizes. Wash the chopped cabbage with water and drain it a little bit. Place a layer of cabbage in the bowl and salt it. Repeat the process until all the cabbage is used up, and then just mix everything up real good. Every 30 minutes or so, mix this all up as the cabbage leaves lose water and become flimsy. It should take about 2 hours for everything to be fully seasoned. In a pot, whisk together 2 tablespoons of glutinous rice powder with a cup of water. Boil it for like 5 minutes while stirring until it turns into this kind of glue. You gotta cool this down. I'm placing my pot in a bed of ice water. Now I'm gonna chop up half of the pear, half of the onion, chili pepper, bell pepper, ginger, and garlic. And put them into the blender with fish sauce and shrimp paste. Blend them for a minute into garlicky smoothie. Now mix together the pepper powder, the cool down glue, the garlicky smoothie, and Sprite to complete the marinade. Let's check back on the cabbage. It should have lost a lot of water, and the white part of the cabbage should be salty and flimsy with a bit of crunch. Rinse this about 2 or 3 times. Wring out the water and let it sit for 15 minutes or so it loses more water. Final step. Thinly chop the onion and chop the spring onions into like 2-inch 5-centimeter lengths. Also julienne the radish and the pear. I think we're ready to mix everything up. So it turns out I didn't use all of the sauce, so I'm gonna save the rest and make some other kind of kimchi. The kimchi is now done, so you can pack this into this glass container. Use glass container and not plastic, because if you use plastic, it can stain the plastic and also make it smell like kimchi for the rest of its life. So unless if you're planning on using the plastic container just for kimchi, don't use plastic, use glass. I'm gonna use this bigger container for the kimchi that I'm gonna save for fermentation, and I'm gonna use the little container for the kimchi that I'm gonna eat for the next few days. To ferment the kimchi, leave it at room temperature for about a day or so to speed up the fermentation process, and let the probiotics do their thing. Then keep it in the back of the fridge for a week before you start eating it. Time for a little taste test. I could eat this all day. It's really shrimpy, but I like it that way because my mom is from the southwest of South Korea, and that's how they do it. They do it really heavy with fish sauce and like fish flavor. Freshly made kimchi goes super well with just plain white rice, and you don't need anything else. But if you're gonna eat this right away without any fermentation, I suggest mixing it with some sesame oil and sesame seeds so you get some more umami in there. Oh, wine pairing wise, kimchi goes super well with sparkling white wine, like champagne or prosecco, because the sparkling gas somehow makes the spicy not so spicy, but still spicy, but nice spicy. And it's weird, but you should just try it. Thank you for watching today. I hope you learned something new. And when in doubt, drink wine. Bye!